Hi everyone, and welcome to a new episode of Day's Podcast along with a new video. So today I wanted to talk about a new artist. Subscribe. Thank you for watching. Thank you for viewing. I truly appreciate it. Definitely check out Patreon and Spotify. If anything, we will have exclusives coming your way very soon. I know I've been saying that. I'm just trying to make sure that you guys have enough public and free content, because why not? There's enough time, why not? So again, thank you so much, and I truly appreciate it. The artist we are going to talk about today is Monica, and we're going to talk about her debut album, Miss Thang. And yes, let's get into it. So Miss Thang is the debut studio album by American R&B recording artist Monica. It was released by Rowdy Records and distributed through the Arista label on July 18, 1995 in the United States. Recorded throughout her early teenage years, the album was conceived under the guidance of Rowdy head Dallas Austin, who would emerge as a tutor and father figure to Monica and serve as Miss Thang's sole executive producer. Austin recruited proteges from his camp, and Tim and Bob, Arnold Hennings, and Colin Wolfe, as well as Daryl Simmons. Now, Daryl Simmons, if you had looked at my recent video with Tony, he's worked with her as well. So, I will say this, sounds and collaborations with artists over time, they were showing the sense that writers and producers can get their dues. And artists can respect it because, of course, they get their dues. They're performing and putting the song, attached to them and everything like that. And of course, they have their right to the song. But this was, the 90s and even in the 2000s, people were starting to get into producing and writing a bit more because they were realizing, like, okay, if technology and all these things are changing, we could still get, residuals. We could still get, things back from this because we did it, It incorporates a wide range of contemporary genres such as soul, pop, hip hop, and blues. So, yes, it was recorded 1993 to 1995. Upon release, Miss Thang received generally mixed to positive reviews from music critics who complimented Monica's versatility and mature sound appearance, as well as the album's eclectic number of songs. A steady seller, the album became a commercial success as well. It debuted and peaked at number 36 of the Billboard 200, similar to Tony, and reached the top 10 on the top R&B hip-hop albums in the United States, where it was certified 3 times platinum by the Recording Academy and sold over 1.5 million copies. Internationally, it earned gold status in Canada, which it reached 20 on the top albums CDs charts, and peaked at number 9 on the New Zealand albums chart, her highest peak as of 2018. 4 singles were released from the album, including debut single "Don't Take It Personal," just one of them days, and follow up "Before You Walk Out of My Life," both of which made Monica the youngest artist ever to have 2 consecutive chart-topping hits on the Billboard Hot R&B Singles chart, and became top 10 hits in New Zealand, with her further 2 singles, "Like This and Like That," which is one of my favorites, and "Why I Love You So Much," which is also one of my favorites, also reaching the top 3 on the Hot R&B songs. Monica, along with fellow teen singers, we talked about this. Let me get back. Hold on. Also reaching the top 3 on the Hot R&B songs. Monica, along with fellow teen singers Aaliyah and Brandy, established herself as one of the most successful R&B female vocalists to emerge during the mid to late 1990s. It also earned her 4 Soul Train Music Awards nods, as well as American Music Award and Billboard Music Award nomination each. So we talked about this with Aaliyah's self-titled and Aaliyah's Age Ain't Nothing But a Number and Brandy's self-titled, where I was saying when Aaliyah was emerging and coming out, we had Tony. We had just received Janet again. We had Monica on her way. As they're saying, 93 was when she was pretty much recording. And we already had Whitney and Mariah, and we already had we had SWV, we had In Vogue, we had just all these different artists coming out. And what I wanted to emphasize, whether it was with Aaliyah and Brandy, and not singling anyone out, was the fact that that's tough. This is, Monica had her own fight, Brandy had her own fight, and Aaliyah her own fight as well. So I just want to make sure I clarify for anyone that's a stan of any of these women, or even men that I talk about, that there was a lot going on. So, like, even down to what I just recently talked about with Tony, there's just more that, that the world was needing at that time. So, yeah, let's get into the background here. In 1992, after winning a series of local talent contests, Monica has her, like I said, own story. Monica was introduced to music producer Dallas Austin. Yes. So, Before You Walk Out of My Life was handed in, and it was a leftover from Toni Braxton's second album, Secrets, for which Monica to record. So Before You Walk Out of My Life was going to be a song that would have been peering into 96 for Toni, but they didn't use it. They said, hey, Monica, do you want to do this song? And it's something, because I literally said this today, and this is me being real with y'all. They have similar tones in the way that they project their octaves. So they're completely different artists. One's younger than the other, of course, but it's just, at that time, you say to yourself, this can still work for this artist and this other artist. It'll more or less intertwine what they're going to do, because they're so different, and they could still stand with each other and be like, yes, because it's not really a bad thing to work with similar producers and writers. The only difference is when the artists themselves give their artistry separately to them. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, Monica can do a song like it's being documented here, where Before You Walk Out of My Life would have been a song from somebody else, as opposed to Toni could have had a song that could have been from somebody else, or even where it may have been Monica's. You never know. But more or less the other way around, you never know. But I wouldn't say. It could go either way. With much of the album being recorded during her years of 1993 and 1995, her teenage years, Monica has described the period as hard work. Like I said, it was more from the stress I put on myself than it was pressure from others, she said. There were so many young artists releasing records, and I wanted to stand out. I was a regular female growing up in the inner city, and I wanted to be who I was. Throughout the recording process, Arnold ensured the album's music and lyrical content reflected her persona. As a result, she vetoed some of the songs selected for the album. I was very assertive in making sure the album was really me, she said in an interview with Billboard. How can you show your feeling in a song when it's about something you don't know about? Commenting on the album title, Monica later elaborated, Dallas Austin would bring producers in the studio to play records for me, and I'd be quick to say no. If I didn't feel it, I would be quick to say no. If I didn't feel it, I knew who I was, and I wanted to say, I knew who I was and what I wanted to say. That's where Miss Thang came from. He'd say, Miss Thang don't like it. So, yes. The album focuses on hip-hop and contemporary urban cuts, including a pair of R&B chart toppers. He felt that in spite of her youthful age, Monica conveys a surprisingly mature sound. Yeah, that was from a review from AllMusic. The album didn't do too bad. I think what it was is, yeah, there's 16 tracks, including a bonus track. You know, there was enough songs, and what I had realized in previous releases from artists before Monica, for some reason with their debuts, there'd be less songs. And so it kind of made people feel like, well, where's the rest? Or when are they going to release more because this is great? Or there was just the attention span of whatever time that was for that particular release where it's like, this was enough. You never know. But I just feel as though, like I said with Tony, and like I'm going to say with any other artist thus far, and even who I probably already talked about, stream their music. Buy their albums, listen to them, like really be a fan, because, you know, even if you're going to watch their videos on YouTube, you know, like look at them and embrace them, because at the time when this was going on, you know, I can't say that things weren't cheaper. So it's not like we couldn't have bought certain things, you know, these sales weren't for no reason. Okay. But yes, let's talk about the track list. So track 1 is Miss Thang. Track 2 is Don't Take It Personal, Just One of Them Days. Track 3 is Like This and Like That. Track 4 is Get Down. Track 5 is With You. Track 6 is Skate. Track 7 is Angel. Track 8 is Woman in Me. Track 9 is Tell Me If You Still Care. Track 10 is Let's Straighten It Out. And this was a surprise because Usher's on here. Okay? And so we've yet to really, we'll talk about Usher. We've yet to really see, like I've said in my last recent video with Tony, like there's only so many artists, even when they're around the same age, that collab. And so with Usher being in Atlanta and of course Monica as well, it's like, why not? You know, why not? And she returned the favor on his album. Nah, okay. So we'll talk about it. Yes, track 11 is Before You Walk Out of My Life. Track 12 is Now I'm Gone. Track 13 is Why I Love You So Much. Track 14 is Never Can Say Goodbye. Track 15, Don't Take It Personal. That's a remix. Track 16 is Forever Always. And track 17, the bonus track in Japan, is In Time. And so, yeah, like I said, you know, over time it started to, you know, rise. And I feel like, you know, like she had said, she knew who she was, what she wanted to do, and that is something that was very big in the 90s for young girls, young women. Because the men were just kind of like, all right, you know, let's do this. You can do it. Yeah. But the women, they made it a little harder. And especially in girl groups too. Because I had, you know, literally talked about the fact that, you know, with TLC, they had one member where it started off with, it was T-Boz and Left Eye and another woman. And then contract switch. Now we have Chili. And, you know, it's those type of situations where it's just, you know, there just needs to be more credit, you know, and I feel for that. I really do feel for that. But yes, I wanted to, again, emphasize the fact that when Monica came out with Miss Thang, it did open people up to her, and where she was going from there, because Whitney was right there with her, and Brandy, in the next release for either one of them that I will be talking about. Well, to be honest with you, I believe I talked about Never Say Never. I'm not sure if I talked about Never Say Never, but if I did, please be sure to check that out. But if I didn't, we will be talking about The Boy Is Mine. So yes, that's the end of our video, and I'll be back with more.